Welcome to Authentic with Brazil 201. I'm your host, Brazil 201, and on today's episode, we're going to talk about Pixar's latest movie, Hopper. And I just want to say, I did not see this movie early, and I honestly thought the only podcast I was going to do about an animation movie was going to be about the other Pixar movie that comes out later this year, which I will not be talking about until I'm allowed to talk about. But I have to say, what a fucking amazing movie this is. First of all, as you can see in the title, yes, this movie is Avatar meets one battle after another. And this movie is surprisingly dark for a Pixar movie. Like, similar, and I know the Zootopia movies are not Pixar movies, they are Disney movies, but like how Zootopia had a lot of themes that were more for adults while having the kid thing like layered on top of it. Hopper, I understand children are gonna join because, oh, wow, the whole, like, animals talking and all of it, but this movie is not for children at all. There's no way any of this stuff is for children that's in this movie, and I think that's okay. I think a Pixar movie that is aimed for, like, everybody in a way is a lot better. So, going into the Hopper, we meet a little girl named Mabel, and she is in the science lab. Now this is, I believe, 9 or 10-year-old Mabel, and she is putting all the animals from her school in a backpack, and she's trying to break out of the school and let them free. She is a very vegan, eco-friendly, save the animals type of character, and she constantly gets yelled at by her teachers for this, and her parents yell at her, and all of this. So what then happens is, her grandmother is basically Leslie Knope from Parks and Recreation, who works at, the parks department or federal parks, something to that extent. And she's like, you're going to find your place one day and people are going to learn to like you. Never change and all of it. We then time jump 10 years to what is now 18, 19-year-old Mabel, who is at community college in her town of Beaverton, and oh yeah, the Mayor Jerry, who's played by John Hamm, is about to blow up this bridge made of beaver wood, like like that's blocking the water, so that they can build the turnpike extension over it. And Mabel is there saying, "You can't do that. You're gonna harm the animals, and it's against environmental laws and all this." And Mayor Jerry's like, there are no animals here at all. This is why we're allowed to do it. And Mabel's like, wait, you're right. There are no animals here. Why? And he's like, I don't know. There's been no animals here. That's why we got the environmental approval. And the cops arrest her for, disrupting the construction process. And they blow up the dam and the water comes out and then they start building the turnpike. Mabel rushes into her biology 101 class at community college, and her doctor, Dr. Sam, is saying, "What are you doing? You can't do this. You never come to class. You're failing your thing, and are you ever going to pay attention?" And just like that. So I was like, "No." And all of it, she's like, "They're going to build a bridge," and he's like, "Okay." She's like, "Okay." And she's like, "Well, how could we stop him? Like, theoretically, if there was a beaver there, the other animals will come because the beaver dam creates a block, so animals are allowed to forest and a bunch of other shit." So then Mabel goes back to the dam, or where the dam was, puts wood, treats, and Beaver's favorite songs on an iPhone for 10 hours. She waits, no animals come. She then sees a beaver and sees the beaver get kidnapped by a van. She follows the van on her skateboard back to the college. She's like, oh no. And she breaks it. She's like, Dr. Sam, what are you doing? You're kidnapping the animals. And she's like, no, 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 you got it wrong. This is a robot. And she explains the process of that this robot it was her consciousness in the robot. Like she took control of it. And Mabel's like, oh, like Avatar. Like you have to go pretend you're the animals so that, you're allowed to research them. He's like, no, it's not like Avatar. But it is exactly like Avatar. Completely. So then Mabel takes control of the consciousness and hops into the beaver. And she doesn't realize the people don't understand her because she speaks as a beaver when she's in a beaver. And she goes in and she finds the animals. And we learn about the way of the pond. she sees a slow beaver who is, just very slow and dumb, kind of like Slowpoke in Pokemon, and is about to get eaten by a bear. And Mabel stops it, says, "You can't do this." And she's like, "You're breaking the pond rules." And the bear's like, "We got to meet the king now because you broke the pond rules." And Dr. Sam and her partners are able to like wireless see things because there's a Bluetooth inside. And they can understand the animals when they're viewing it through Mabel's hopper. And she's like, "Wait, why do they have a king in all of this?" So they meet King Beaver, King George, right? That's the name of the king of the beaver. And the two sidekick scientists, one is an Indian chick and one's a black guy. It's like, how does he have a crown? And we've helped the whole process about all of it. And the animals say they don't go to that pond anymore because there's a sound that's bothering them that's really loud. So Mabel goes with them as the beaver, and she's like, "What sound? Tell me where you hear the sound." And then it's like a barrier. It's like a sound only animals can hear. And she sees it's a fake tree with a speaker meant to like push out the animals. So Mabel destroys it, and the black guy scientist hops into uh not a seagull, a pelican to try to get Mabel. And he's like, "Yo, it's a fake tree. Let me destroy the tree." And they destroy the tree, and we seem like okay, and the animals are back. Mayor Jerry gets the call. He's like, "What? They destroyed the tree?" And he puts up a bunch of trees, right? So now there's so much noise they can't do anything about it. So Mabel ends up demanding King George do the council, and apparently every type of animal has its own leader. So the insects, the reptiles, the fish, the birds, they all have their own thing. And Sam and the two scientists are watching this and like, you humans can't be interacting with animal matters. And she has led an animal uprising because she explains to them about Mayor Jerry and all of it. And they're like, "We have to kill Jerry and stop this." And she led the one battle after another uprising. And that is happening. And so Mabel has to go to Jerry first to warn Jerry, but she's still the fucking beaver. And she's talking to Jerry via iPhone because she knows how to work an iPhone, but the other animals do not know how to work an iPhone, and they just keep playing with the toys. And we learn how the animals work together, and they get a giant shark to chase them. And this is the craziest fucking sequence in this movie where the seagulls are carrying a shark, and the shark is chasing Jerry while he's driving a Corvette, while Mabel is in the car as the beaver, and then Sam and them come in the van, and they have Sam's human body, and she's like, "Oh, I have to get the Bluetooth thing so they can understand me." He puts the Bluetooth, so Mabel goes in the car as a groundhog or beaver, whatever the fuck she is, puts the Bluetooth in Jerry so Jerry can understand. So Jerry hears Mabel. He's like, "Fuck, it's Mabel," and he's like, "Oh, this is a dream. Why the fuck would Mabel be a beaver?" They crash, and the animals are still trying to kill Jerry. Then the animals learn everything is that that Mabel's a robot, and of all the fake animals, and they fucking freak the fuck out. They capture the scientist and Jerry, and they create a fake robot Jerry who's like, "I'm gonna kill all the humans," by putting him in the celebration of the opening of the turnpike thing to a noise so loud that will kill all the humans. And the animals are like, "Jerry seems weird," and all of it. And Mabel tries to talk to uh yeah, to fake to the fucking to Titus, who is the bee and the bug insect, who's now in a robot version of Jerry. And Jerry is in the beaver hopper, and it's King George is very upset that everything is happening, and they manage the fire blows up the forest because of Titus, and the animals work together with the humans to stop the fire. And Mayor Jerry suddenly has a change of heart, and he's like, "We got to do this as if humans were never here." And Mabel gives a phone to King George, even though she can't understand him anymore. But George knows how to type on the phone after watching Mabel, so they still communicate. And that is what this movie is. This movie was very good. Like, really fucking good, and I can't talk about the other Pixar movie, but it's crazy that there are now going to be these are gonna be 2 of the darkest Pixar movies ever. Like, it is crazy, I enjoyed it. I wanna actually see this fucking movie again, which I can't believe I wanna see, like, this movie. I'm like, "This is great." This is, like, the first good original Pixar movie in forever, because the last Pixar movies we've had was, like, Inside Out 2, which is a sequel. We had God, I can't even remember the last couple of Pixar movies we've had because, like, a lot of them have been bad. There was one that was kinda really dumb. Going back, I'm trying to like, no, Coco 2 is not out yet. Elio was awful. Inside Out 2 is cool. Elemental was sucked. Lightyear was whatever. Turning Red is okay. Luca was fun, right? Soul is really dark too. Soul is extremely dark. But yeah, this and Toy Story 5, it's crazy because I don't know which movie's gonna win like best animated movie this year. Because if I'm right, Spider-Verse 3 is not coming out this year. Spider-Verse 3 got delayed till 2027. So it looks like Toy Story 5 or this is going to win Best Animated Movie next year, which is great. I enjoyed it. Go see this movie. Like, this movie is truly not for kids. It is Avatar meets one battle after another. So if you liked either of these fucking movies, and I mean Avatar as in the blue people, not Aang the Airbender, go see these movies. They're fun.